The reason that I think is because I know that he's married to Bryan Cranston's on-screen wife in Malcolm in the Middle.
Okay, well,
that's the only reason why
that's the connection you got going.
That's the only but the thing is that there is something relatable to him in like, you know, Hal from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah,
because he says something ridiculous and embarrassing and, you know, cringeworthy. Haha, coined our, I had to. And it's just like, like, what are you saying? That's awkward. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And it was so self-aware because the daughter pointed it out every time.
Yeah. Well, he was definitely good at playing the father who just, you know, had a lot of bad dad jokes and made the situation uncomfortable by thinking he's making it comfortable. You know, like talking about how he would vote for Obama a third time if he could, and all this.
Yeah, every white person says that, I guess.
Yeah. Now, does that make him racist?
I don't know.
Because apparently it made him racist.
It makes him awkward.
Makes him awkward.
Makes him awkward. Makes him plant the flag, saying, "Hey, look, that's my credibility for not being racist."
Yeah.
So therefore, it works to your disadvantage.
But I guess what's racist would be thinking that Chris would really care that he liked Obama. Like, why not? I like Nixon, or why not? Why do you assume that the only black president is going to be something that this other black guy wants to talk about?
Well, this is the biggest, because that's the biggest stage for black history, is that there's a black president. So everybody's going to revert to that. You know, why not revert to Martin Luther King or Malcolm X?
There were other parts when that guy came up and was like, "Oh, I like golfing. I
Tiger
like Tiger Woods." I was like,
he's not even entirely black too, but just to say. But that's so stupid for me to say, because even Jordan Peele's not even entirely. But it's just to say, it's just kind of, it's like, you know. Because I feel like it's some of these examples are diverse. There's a lot of diversity. There's a lot of diversity to what makes up Tiger Woods' you know, his genetic complexion. You know, he's no, but it's true though. But you get what I'm saying? It's there's more diversity. So when you just say Tiger Woods, like, okay, does he represent all black people? Yes, in a way, but like not entirely either. Does Tiger Woods represent all black people? And then you answered your own question by saying yes. Well, like, yeah, no, but you didn't let me finish. You just said, you just interrupted me, and you said,
I just had to figure that out for a second.
I'm just trying to say, like, does he represent he represents minorities, but not just exclusively African Americans?
I think he just represents a good golfer.
That's right. That's true. Yeah, I would say that too.
I think that's the point they're trying to get you to take away. It's like, don't.
Well, that's what we see in reality, but what is that man trying to say to Chris there?
Yeah, but I think even in reality, that's the way that
for sure,
a lot of people act.
Definitely. Yeah.
But I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing to do. You meet somebody from South Africa, and you maybe bring up, it's like, oh, I like that South African actor. Okay, that's a bad example. Let's say you meet somebody. You meet somebody.
Don't say Pythagoras, the man who murdered his wife in South Africa. Oh, he was a great racer.
Yeah, it's like where you meet someone who has an Australian accent. And you're like, oh,
Crocodile Dundee.
I really like. I guess that kind of sounds racist.
Steve
Crocodile Dundee. But
well, that's what they're trying to grasp, is that it's that reason.
Somebody meets you from the States and they're like, oh, you're from
Canada,
Quebec, and then.
I like Trudeau.
And they're like, oh, you like poutine. Like, I've had poutine. Or no, not even that. It's like, oh, I've had poutine once. It was really good. Are you going to feel stereotyped, and are you going to feel like someone was racist against you?
No, but more like,
more of a culture thing.
If we isolate, like, Tiger Woods, you know, obviously, besides being a known golfer.
Haven't the African Americans had enough isolation, David?
If we take Tiger Woods' situation, besides being a pro golfer, after being a pro golfer, you know what he's known for afterwards. It was this huge paparazzi scandal because he's been having affairs left and right with so many women while he was married and things like that. So he's been in the negative part of the press for a number of years. So it's not the best representation. So when somebody says to me, like, somebody who's a Canadian I can't stand. I'm just trying to think. That's like wildly known. Man.
Drake.
Okay. Drake's not a negative. He's not a negative. Like, who's naming like a negative Canadian?
You want a white negative Canadian?
Oh yeah, give me a white negative Canadian.
Rick Moranis.
Sorry,
Rick Moranis.
What the who?
Rick Moranis. You don't know Rick Moranis?
Jesus.
Come on, man. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I'll give you that.
Oh, what's wrong with him? He's cool.
I'm just trying to give you somebody.
Damn it, no.
Do you not like Jim Carrey? Do you not like...
I like Jim Carrey.
What about the singer Bare Naked Ladies?
Yeah, I guess. He's, he did drugs. No good.
Jesus.
Okay. Someone associates me with Chad Kroeger from Nickelback.
There you go.
That's something like, and I was speaking to people from Red Deer where Nickelback is formed and they're from. You know, they're ashamed of it. Like, oh, look, we're very sorry that they exist. You know, they're apologetic. And then when, on behalf of Canada, if I go to visit the States and someone says, "Oh yeah, that's where Nickelback is from," and I'll be like, "Ugh, that's that hurts."
I guess. So. I guess
that took us forever to find a Canadian that I'm ashamed of. Oh wait, Stephen Harper. Jesus. Wow. I don't like him. Other people wouldn't agree, but yeah.
I mean, people like Nickelback, Chad Kroeger. You cannot like everything about him.
No.
I mean, he lost me when he married Avril Lavigne.
It's because he took away your crush. It's different.
It took away my wife.
That's right.
Wife.
Yeah, that's
true. A crush makes it sound so juvenile, David.
Right.
But yeah, I guess is there a fine line between trying to relate to somebody or trying to bring up a topic that is relatable and being racist?
I don't know, because imagine if someone says, "Oh, I love that Martin Luther King." They're really trying to say is like, "Oh, I love, like, you know, the Picasso of, you know, black representation." You know what I mean? Like, it's where is the appropriate? Where is you shouldn't? The point is that you shouldn't say anything to try to appease anybody. Just treat them like everybody else. Obviously, that's the point. But everybody's just so awkward.
Pippi Longstockings.
Yeah.
Can you call a
Carrot Top?
Can you call a fat man Jabba the Hutt? Where do you draw the line?
You just shouldn't say anything. I guess
just keep your mouth shut.
Exactly. Just say hi. How are you? Welcome to the neighborhood. That's it.
Unless somebody is exactly like you in every way, do not speak to them.
I don't know how we got to talking.
Say is going to be racist. Do you have anything else you want to say about this film? I mean, I feel like we didn't talk about the very end. I think that's something we should talk about.
In the regard that
the payoff, you know, having him go around killing all the white folks.
Oh, that was the very end. That's like,
and everybody cheered for every white person that Chris killed. Everybody cheered.
Right.
I found that Catherine Keener did not get the death she deserved. She should have gotten something much worse.
Yeah, we didn't even see what happened to her. We know what happened to her.
Like, kind of killed her, but we saw her expression more than the stabbing.
Yeah, it's but I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like he's trying. Like, they're at this point, they're trying to wrap this up. They're trying to get him out as quickly as possible. Like, a bit of the realism comes in here. It's like, you know, if you want to try to kill somebody, not try to be over brutal. The chance he had to be over brutal was to be overly brutal was with the brother, right?
The brother with the ball to the head.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, the fact that he got up from that already, which is fine. Which we
head trauma. It's not a for sure death.
It's not a for sure death, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah. It didn't look like he was going to be, doing a lot of crossword puzzles after that, but he probably
UFC
could have survived. Yeah,
in his case, but yeah.
So the deaths happened. He gets out, ends up not really killing his girlfriend. That's the thing. He leaves her. What happens? There's a car crash.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he has a soft spot. He takes the grandmother.
That's a big one. Yeah, then it's revealed that it's the grandmother instead of being an innocent black.
Yeah, that was victim. Another moment. That's because we didn't know until that moment. It's like, oh man, like they're taking over.
Yeah,
loved ones are taking the bodies of these people. And
that's a big revelation. Yeah, in a revelation.
So he kind of screws himself over there. Gets into a pretty bad car crash.
Yeah, and
then it's really between him and Rose.
Right,
like who's gonna prevail, and
Grandpa.
So Grandpa kills himself,
and shoots Rose.
But Rose is still. Isn't Rose still alive?
No, she would bleed to death.
Well, he's strangling her to death.
Oh yeah, at this point, yeah.
And this scene was pretty good because he's just like looking at her, and it's.
Yeah, well, that's not an easy thing to do.
No, but he did it really well. Like, it was comedic, but it was also serious. And it was like, this is probably how I would look at you. Be like, I don't want to be doing this, but like I kind of have no choice, and you're really a terrible person. So you can say you're sorry all you want, but I'm not listening. Yeah,
why would he not
sprinkle you? And then the cop comes.
Cop.
What you think is going to be the police officer from the beginning,
right?
Which was payoff enough for the cop at the beginning because that's how you would assume it's going to be him. But no, it's a TSA agent. It's his friend. That got a pretty big applause.
Yeah, that was it's like, you say to yourself, oh really? Are they going to do it? Are they going to have him go to jail for everything that's been going on so far, because all of it looks bad. He was on top of her.
No way to talk yourself out of that.
Yeah, there's no way. There's 2 dead bodies. There's
the house is on fire.
Yeah,
so all of the evidence presumably is gone.
Yeah, exactly. And even just him getting out of there was just. Does he even say anything? If these people have been missing, did they even say anything? Do they even, we don't care about what happens afterwards, but imagine walking away from the situation.
Well, I think we should care about what happens after, because I don't think in any way is he's out of the fire, so to speak, for the moment. But
they said this place is secluded. They mentioned that in the beginning. It's the next house is not until the next lake, until after the lake.
But the fact is somebody is going to come looking for these white people. Someone's going to come looking for Rose. Someone's going to come looking, like these are not hillbillies in the middle of the woods.
But if they do go looking for it, they're going to say, "Oh, what happened here?" Well, then they have to explain the whole procedure and the reason why they know them. Why, and then if they come out, there's the missing black people that they've been with, because one woman's is with one of the black people who were kidnapped recently. The guy from Brooklyn who was kidnapped in the beginning. Yeah. If she would to speak out about something, well, she has something to hide. She can't speak out.
She has nothing to hide.
She has something to hide.
Who? What?
She has the black individual that was kidnapped in the beginning. She's with them.
Yeah, but there's nothing to hide, because at that point, according to authorities, he's right there and he's making a willing choice to stay there. Like, he's not missing.
I guess not. Yeah.
The way I see this going down is, they're good for a couple of days until the murder is discovered. And then it's like, oh, who is she? Maybe who is she dating? It's like, oh, it's Chris.
She's
this guy.
Yeah.
They're gonna find out. Like, there's Facebook, there's text messages, there's history. They're easily gonna find out that Chris was like, oh, Chris, you were supposed to be coming. Like, there's records. Like, for sure, they're gonna know that Chris was there.
Right.
His DNA is all over her. Like, he was strangling her for sure. Like, his fingerprints are all over her, all over the car that got into an accident. I don't see any way that him and his friend get out of this without being sentenced to a lifetime in prison.
I don't know if I bring this up often enough while we're speaking or if we're talking in the podcast, but today, something like a cell phone. Okay, the cell phone.
Yeah.
The device is a huge preventative tool to avoid danger. And didn't you find that, like, because I like a lot of modern day horror films, the way they use the cell phone sometimes, it's like, remember how we talked about the Bioman was a really bad example of how they use the cell phone. I think that's the last time I brought it up. Because the cell phone could basically debunk anything, could get you out of anything. If it can't get you out of something, it's because there's a good reason that's placed in the beginning, and that's because there's no network connection or it ran out of battery. And in this case here, it's like, the use of the cell phone, as much as it was used enough for him, there's a reason why he couldn't use it anymore. And to the extent that he did use it already, it was believable enough for him to think, like, at that point he couldn't get out. He didn't think of, he was in danger at this point. And then when he couldn't use it anymore, it's because of whatever the reason it was.
Yeah. And who's he going to call? Like, well, what's he going to say?
Exactly.
It's going to sound ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah.
But do find it still incriminating him, because there's definitely a history through that phone about where he was. Basically, this just comes down to him spending a weekend up there,
right,
killing all these white people. Mm-hmm. He's the only survivor. How's that going to look?
Well, what if he proves that he's not there? That's the only thing, because no pictures were taken while he's there.
There was a cop.
There was a cop who did not take his identification.
Yeah, but he could recognize him.
He could recognize it, but he still has no identification. So technically, it doesn't bode well in trial.
And there's also a lot of other white people in that neighborhood who
I feel like they all have something to hide. At a party.
Yeah, they have something to hide, but nothing that can be proven. So if all they have to do is be like, the best thing to do if they have something to hide is blame him for all these murders.
Maybe, yeah.
Because then everything's on him.
But if he presents enough evidence for whatever...
He has no evidence.
Outside of what could be believed that he was kidnapped and then they tried killing him and he escaped, that could easily be a plausible story. And, if the trial... If it would lead to a mistrial, then nothing happens. It all gets swept under the rug.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know how it could leave... Because the only fact that can be proven here is... that he did kill all these people. That's right, but he said it was out of self-defense easily. But that can't be proven. He has a witness. He has one witness. That witness wasn't there. No, he has one witness that went to go save him. Went to save him and he had distress calls and everything like that. So it's a witness. But it's not enough, but it's something. But even in a world that is racist.
Right. That would we would love to see this on trial. It would be like an OJ trial.
Yeah, like that's not gonna. He could have video footage of these people trying to kill him, and he'll probably still get convicted.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
In a world